A quiet porch at first light. I stepped onto the front porch as the daylight broke the night, where the world felt still and tender under soft and golden light. I carried hidden heartache from a season worn and long, and the trembling in my spirit told me something here was wrong. But the smell of fresh brewed coffee rose like comfort through the air, and the morning breeze beside me seemed to lift my quiet prayer. So I settled in a wooden chair as the sky grew warm and wide, and I felt a gentle mercy stirring softly deep inside. In that still and simple moment where the weary heart's released, I could feel a healing presence pouring hope and pouring peace. Coffee at daybreak told my restless heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Coffee at daybreak wrapped a kindness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The old farmer with a gentle word, a weathered, humble farmer, walked up slowly down the lane, carrying a chipped old mug and a lifetime marked by pain. He settled on the porch rail with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this early hour saved me when I had no clue." He spoke of losing family, of the nights he couldn't sleep, how he prayed beside his coffee till the Lord restored him deep. And the truth within his stories felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can brew new mercy where the broken come to rest. In the kindness he remembered, in the tears he didn't hide, I felt something deep within me shift its weight and open wide. Coffee at daybreak lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Coffee at daybreak glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me," to me. Coffee at daybreak, coffee at daybreak, coffee at daybreak. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. As the sunrise climbed the tree line and the birds began to sing, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentle strengthening. For the farmer's quiet wisdom and his early morning grace made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its place. I thanked him for his presence as he rose to start his day, and he said, "Son, God restores you in his warm, unfailing way." Then he walked into the sunlight with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Coffee at daybreak taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Coffee at daybreak echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Coffee at daybreak, coffee at daybreak, coffee at daybreak. Walking a quiet back road, I followed down a back road where the dust rose soft and light, where the fading sun was sinking and the day slipped into night. I had carried quiet heartache from a season bruising long, and the burden on my shoulders made me feel I wasn't strong. But the stillness in the distance held a peace I hadn't known, and the wind that brushed the fence line felt like comfort gently blown. So I stopped beside a worn-out post as the daylight lost its hue, and I felt a tender mercy rising warm and breaking through.
In that quiet, dusty moment where the broken hearts confess, I could feel a healing presence pull me closer into rest.
Dusty boots of grace told my trembling feet to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, love was lighting up my way again.
Dusty boots of grace wrapped a kindness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gather near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear that day.
The cowboy wanderer, a withered, humble cowboy, walked up slowly from the bend, carrying years of quiet stories only broken hearts come in. He leaned against the fence rail with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, these dusty boots here walk me through what I went through."
He spoke of losing loved ones, of the roads that made him weep, how he deeper rest.
In the rugged grace He carried, in the hope He learned to keep, I felt something deep within me rise from shadows long and deep. Dusty boots of grace lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Dusty boots of grace glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me.
Dusty boots of grace,
I will stand right here,
I will breathe again,
I will trust His love
like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there.
So I thanked Him for His kindness as He turned to leave the way. And He said, son, God restores you in His steady, faithful way. Then He wandered down the back road with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Dusty boots of grace taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again.
Dusty boots of grace echo through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me.
Dusty boots of grace,
Dusty boots of grace,
dusty boots of grace,
warm dough trail, soft cruise buffet, gentle organ hush, silence.
Sitting by a campfire at dusk, I settled by the firelight as the daylight slipped away, where the embers cracked like footsteps from the troubles of my day. I carried hidden heartache from a season worn and long, and the quiet in my spirit felt too weak to make me strong. But the glow along the fire ring held a warmth I'd failed to see, and the breeze across the treetops pulled a whisper out of me. So I leaned into the stillness as the night began to rise, and I felt a gentle comfort softly lifting weary sighs. In that simple sacred moment where the hurting hearts confess, I could feel a tender mercy fall like firelight on my chest. Firelight mercy told my restless soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today, when my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away. Grace was lighting up my way again. Firelight mercy wrapped a calm around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the shadows drawing near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The traveler by the fire, a quiet, tired traveler, came up slowly through the pines, carrying a worn-out rucksack full of broken tangle lines. He sat beside the fire ring with a sigh both rough and deep, saying, "Son, this fire has held me when my storms refuse to sleep." He spoke of years of wandering, of the hurt he learned to bear, how he found the Lord in firelight when his soul fell to despair. And the truth within his stories fell like sparks upon my mind, showing God can warm your sorrow in a place so still and kind. In the honesty he carried, in the weight he dared to share, I felt something deep within me rise like smoke into the air. Firelight mercy lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sadness to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, Grace stepped in with song to rest. Grace stepped in with something blessed again. Firelight and mercy blow with healing in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me." To me, firelight and mercy, firelight and mercy. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust your love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. As the fire grew soft and quiet and the stars filled up the night, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler, steady light. For the traveler's quiet wisdom and the glow upon the ground, may the sorrow in my memory slowly lose its haunting sound. I thanked him for his sharing as he rose to greet the dark, and he said, "Son, God restores you, every ember leaves a mark." Then he wandered through the tree line with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Firelight mercy taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of heavy heartache I carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Firelight mercy echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Firelight mercy, firelight mercy. Sitting on the porch after a hard season, I settled on the back porch as the daylight eased away, where the wooden boards beneath me felt like memories I'd forsake. I carry quiet burdens from a season worn and tired, and the ache within my spirit lingered heavy from the night. But the sunrise on the tree line held a peace I hadn't known, and the breeze that shook the daisies felt like comfort gently sown. So I leaned against the railing as the morning touched my skin, and I felt a healing whisper rising softly from within. In that still and quiet moment where the weary hearts retreat, I could feel a tender mercy gather warm around my feet. Grace on the back porch told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, love was lighting up my way again. Grace on the back porch wrapped a kindness around my fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was a whispering in my ear that day. The old neighbor, my neighbor from the pasture, walked up gently through the grass, carrying a cup of coffee and a life that came to pass. He sat upon the railing with a sigh both rough and real, saying, "Son, these mornings saved me when I couldn't even feel." He spoke of losing courage, of the storms he couldn't bear, how he found the Lord in silence on this porch in morning air. And the truth within his stories felt like sunlight on my spine, showing God can meet your heartache in a place so plain and kind. In the honesty he offered, in the wisdom he had grown, I felt something deep within me start to soften from the stone. Grace on the back porch lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Grace on the back porch glowed with healing in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my strength fell to its knees, love was a whispering, rest in me, to me. Grace on the back porch I will trust this place, I will breathe again, I will lean on Him like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the load I bear, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. I will trust this place, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. A gentle courage for the day ahead as the sunshine warmed the porch boards and the morning spread out wide. I could feel my tired heartbeat, find a gentler place inside for my neighbor's quiet wisdom and the porch's healing grace made the sorrow in my memory fall to rest in lighter space. I thanked Him for His presence as He rose to greet the day, and He said, "Son, God restores you in His own unhurried way." Then He wandered through the pasture with a slow, unbroken stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Grace on the back porch taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of worn-out heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Grace on the back porch echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Grace on the back porch, grace on the back porch, grace on the back porch.
I wandered toward the pine line, where the lake lay still and white, where the early morning silence pulled the worry from my stride. I had carried hidden heartache from a season bruised and long, and the heaviness inside me kept me far from feeling strong. But the shoreline in the distance held a peace I'd never claimed, and the wind among the branches seemed to gently call my name. So I settled near the water as the sunlight touched the pines, and I felt a quiet mercy move along the shifting lines. In that calm and open moment where the weary hearts unwind, I could feel a gentle solace reach the burden on my mind. Harbor in the pines told my restless heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today.
When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Harbor in the pines wrapped a softness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear that day. The fisherman at dawn, a quiet aging fisherman, walked up slowly from the shore, carrying a weathered tackle box he had used in years before. He settled by a pine trunk with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this harbor saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing everything, family, strength, and hope alike, how he knelt beside this water till the Lord restored his sight. And the truth within his stories fell like sunlight on my chest, showing God can lift the drowning to a place of gentle rest. In the wisdom he had carried, in the tears he tried to hide, I felt something deep within me start to settle open wide. Harbor in the pines lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Harbor in the pines glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Harbor in the pine, harbor in the pine, harbor in the pine, harbor in the pine. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer finds His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer finds His presence there. As the morning warmed the lakefront and the sunlight crowned the trees, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a steadier release. For the fisherman's compassion and the harbor's quiet air made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its snare. I thanked Him for His kindness as He rose to start His day, and He said, "Son, God restores you in His gentle, faithful way." Then He walked along the shoreline with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Harbor in the pines taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Harbor in the pines echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Harbor in the pine, harbor in the pine, harbor in the pine.
Walking toward the hilltop at sunrise, I climbed up to the hilltop as the night began to fade, where the early morning shadows stretched like memories I'd made. I had carried years of heartache from a season worn and torn, and the ache within my spirit felt too heavy to be borne. But the sunlight on the ridgeline held a peace I couldn't see, and the wind across the valley pulled a whisper out of me. So I knelt beside a boulder as the golden light grew near, and I felt a gentle mercy start to hush my deepest fear. In that still and holy moment, where the weary hearts repair, I could feel a tender healing settle softly in my prayer. Hilltop prayer told my restless heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope was fading and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way. Hilltop prayer wrapped a quiet around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The old shepherd, a gentle aging shepherd, walked up slowly through the grass, carrying a wool-worn story and a life he'd seen past. He leaned upon his staff right with a sigh, both rough and true, saying, "Son, this hill has held me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing family, of the nights he cried alone, how he found the Lord in shadows till his fears were overthrown. And the truth within his stories felt like sunlight on my mind, showing God can lift your sorrow in a place so still, so kind. In the honesty he offered, in the peace he learned to bear, I felt something deep within me rising to that hilltop air. Hilltop prayer lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of hidden heartache to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something that lasts again. Hilltop prayer glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me," to me. Hilltop prayer, hilltop prayer. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, I will trust your love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. Strength at the top of the hill as the sun spilled through the valley, and the sky grew wide and clear. I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler rhythm here.
for the shepherd's quiet wisdom and the hill's embracing grace made the sorrow in my memory lose its sharpness, lose its place. I thanked him for his kindness as he turned to walk away, and he said, son, God restores you in his perfect steady way. Then he drifted down the hillside with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Hilltop prayer taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of heavy heartache I had carried in disguise when my hope was fading under unforgiving skies. Grace restored what fear denies again. Hilltop prayer echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing me to me. Hilltop prayer, hilltop prayer, hilltop prayer. Soft the two-stroke down strokes like wheels rolling on gravel. Dobro slides warm and mellow like late summer sunset. Every gently down rolls the way like that does. At with spin like distant church choir humming over the hills. Ripped up into an old gravel road, I walk my hometown gravel road as the daylight slowly rolls, where the memories of childhood hidden every stone it chose. I had carried years of heartache from a season bruised and long, and the heaviness inside me made me feel I wasn't strong. But the crunch beneath my footsteps brought a peace I didn't claim, and the wind that shook the tree line seemed to softly call my name. So I lingered by an old fence rail as the morning warmed the sky, and I felt a gentle mercy pull the teardrops from my eye. In that quiet sacred moment where the weary souls return, I could feel a healing whisper rise like calm the heart can learn. Hometown gravel road told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way. Hometown gravel road wrapped a softness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear. That day, the mechanic from the old workshop, a weathered local mechanic, walked up slowly down the lane, carrying a faded story etched in grease and etched in pain. He rested by the roadside with a sigh both rough and true, saying, son, this gravel saved me when I didn't know what to do. He spoke of losing purpose, of the nights he'd fallen low, how he prayed along this roadside till the Lord began to show. And the truth within his stories fell like sunlight on my chest, showing God can mend the broken where old memories come to rest. In the strength he had remembered, in the years he learned to stand, I felt something deep within me lift like dust from hardened land. Hometown gravel road lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Hometown gravel road glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith fell fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Hometown gravel road, hometown gravel road, hometown gravel road. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust his love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. As the morning climbed the tree line and the road stretched warm and wide, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside. For the mechanic's quiet wisdom and the gravel at my feet made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its seat. I thanked him for his sharing as he rose to meet the day, and he said, son, God restores you in his perfect steady way. Then he walked back to his workshop with a slow unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Hometown gravel road taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Hometown gravel road echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Hometown gravel road, hometown gravel road, hometown gravel road. Sitting by the river at dusk, I wandered to the river as the daylight slipped away. where the ripples held a silence that my soul had longed to stay. I had carried hidden heartache from a season worn and long, and the weight upon my shoulders felt too heavy to be strong. But the lanterns on the shoreline glowed with warmth against my fear, and the cricket song around me felt like heaven drawing near. So I sat beside the water as the first stars filled the sky, and I felt a gentle comfort touch the tears I couldn't hide.
In that soft and quiet moment where the heavy hearts confess, I could feel a tender mercy settle low within my chest.
Lantern by the riverbank told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my faith was fragile and my hope had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Lantern by the riverbank wrapped a kindness round my fear, telling me the Lord was present in the night that felt so near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispered in my ear that day. A quiet, weathered ferryman walked up gently from downstream,
Carrying the years upon him with a calmness like a dream. He lowered down his paddle with a sigh both old and true, saying, "Son, this river's held me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing purpose, of the storms that shook his days, how he found the Lord in waters when his strength had slipped away. And the truth inside his stories felt like healing into mine, showing God can guide your footsteps when you're lost along the line. In the wisdom he uncovered, in the peace that he had found, I felt something deep within me rise from sorrow off the ground. Lantern by the riverbank lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of silent sadness to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed. Again, I'm by the riverbank, glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was with me in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me. To me, and many. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust your voice like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the load I bear, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets your presence there. Strength returning in the quiet night as the moonlight touched the river and the night turned soft and wide.
I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside. For the ferryman's compassion and the river's healing grace made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its place. I thanked him for his wisdom as he headed toward the shore, and he said, "Son, God restores you even when you ask no more." Then he walked into the shadows with a calm, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Lantern by the riverbank taught my weary soul to rise, letting go a broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denied. Oh, then lantern by the riverbank echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing me to me. Lantern by the riverbank, lantern by the riverbank. Soft old glow, the two-stick fall at warm organ hush, silence. Climbing a ridge at early dawn, I wandered up the ridgeline as the daylight slowly grew, where the cool wind brushed the pine trees and the world felt fresh and new. I had carried quiet heartache from a season dark and long, and the shadows in my spirit made me feel I wasn't strong. But the sunrise on the hillside held a calm I couldn't claim, and the whisper through the treetops seemed to softly call my name. So I rested by a fallen log as the ridge grew warm and wide, and I felt a gentle mercy settle deep upon my side. In that quiet, tender moment where the hurting souls release, I could feel a healing presence rising slowly into peace. The lantern on the ridge told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Lantern on the ridge wrapped a calm around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. In the courage He remembered and the faith He learned to keep, I felt something deep within me break its silence, rise from sleep. Lantern on the ridge lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of hidden sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Lantern on the ridge glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Lantern on the ridge, lantern on the ridge, lantern on the ridge. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. As the sunlight warmed the hillside and the morning painted gold, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a peace it once controlled. For the traveler's quiet telling and his lantern's faded glow made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen, soften, slow. I thanked Him for His kindness as He rose to meet the day, and He said, son, God restores you in His steady, faithful way. Then He wandered down the ridgeline with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Lantern on the ridge taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Lantern on the ridge echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Lantern on the ridge, lantern on the ridge. I walked up Walnut Hill as the night began to glow, where the silver moon was rising over fields I used to know. I had carried quiet heartache from a season warm and long, and the silence in my footsteps told me something here was wrong. But the moonlight on the tree line held a calm I never claimed, and the whisper of the branches seemed to softly call my name. So I rested by an old oak stump as the shadows drifted still, and I felt a gentle healing touch the air on Walnut Hill. In that quiet glowing moment where the broken souls can rise, I could feel a tender mercy move like silver through the skies. Moonrise over Walnut Hill told my restless heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my peace had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Moonrise over Walnut Hill wrapped a softness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The old night watcher, an aging nighttime watcher, wandered slowly from the trees, carrying a lantern glowing like a drifting autumn breeze. He settled near the hillside with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this moon has held me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing family, of long years he spent alone, how he prayed beneath this moonlight till the Lord restored his tone. And the truth within his stories felt like moonbeams on my chest, showing God can guide the wanderer to a clearing carved for rest. In the wisdom he remembered, in the tears he dared to spill, I felt something deep within me start to loosen, start to still. Moonrise over Walnut Hill lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Moonrise over Walnut Hill glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me. To me, moonrise over Walnut Hill, moonrise over Walnut Hill. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer finds His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer finds His presence there. I thanked thanked him for his kindness as he rose to end his night. And he said, son, God restores you in his patient, perfect light. Then he wandered down the hillside with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Moonrise over Walnut Hill taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Moonrise over Walnut Hill echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Moonrise over Walnut Hill, moonrise over Walnut Hill. Walking a quiet meadow path, I wandered through the meadow as the early light broke through, where the dew upon the clover felt like mercy fresh and new. I had carried silent heartache from a season long and worn her, and the heaviness inside me. But the sunlight on the treetops held a calm I couldn't keep, and the breeze across the flowers stirred a strength beneath my grief. So I paused along the pathway as the morning touched my chest, and I felt a healing whisper softly telling me to rest. In that quiet sacred meadow where the hurting hearts release, I could feel a gentle mercy pull my worries into peace. Path through the meadow told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Path through the meadow wrapped a soft around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The meadow wanderer, a wanderer came walking through the tall grass by the stream, carrying a life of stories and a hope that still could dream. He sat beside the pathway with a breath both rough and true, saying, son, this meadow saved me when I didn't know what to do. He spoke of years of trial, of the hurt he'd learned to bear, how he found the Lord in stillness as he breathed the meadow air. And the truth within his wisdom fell like sunlight on my mind, showing God can lift your burdens in a place, so warm and kind. In the courage he remembered, in the peace his heart had grown, I felt something deep within me start to rise from what I'd known. Path through the meadow lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sadness to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Path through the meadow, rode with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was with me in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, resting to me. Path through the meadow, path through the meadow. I will walk this path, I will breathe again, I will trust his love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. I will walk this path, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. As the sunlight warmed the meadow and the grasses swayed with grace, I could feel my tired heartbeat find a gentler resting place. For the wanderer's compassion and the meadow's quiet air made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from despair. I thanked him for his wisdom as he rose to greet the day, and he said, "Son, God restores you in his kind and steady way." Then he walked beyond the tree line with a calm, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Path through the meadow taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of faded heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was failing under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denied again. Path through the meadow, it goes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Path through the meadow, path through the meadow. Sitting beneath the porch light at dusk, I settled on the front porch as the evening slowly came, where the porch light cast a shimmer. Light carried silent heartache from a season bruised and long, and the tiredness in my spirit made me feel I didn't belong. but the glow around the doorway held a warmth I didn't see. And the breeze across the treetops pulled a whisper out of me. So I leaned against the railing as the dusk grew soft and bright, and I felt a gentle blessing rising through that little light. In that calm and sacred moment where the hurting hearts renew, I could feel a healing mercy pull my fears from breaking through. Porch light blessing told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Porch light blessing wrapped a softness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The neighbor with an old story, a quiet aging neighbor, walked up gently through the yard, carrying a mug of coffee and a life that had been hard. He settled on the porch step with a breath both deep and true, saying, "Son, this porch light saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing family, of the storms that shaped his nights, how he prayed upon this doorstep till the Lord restored his sight. And the truth within his stories felt like kindness on my chest, showing God can mend your heartbreak in a place of calm and rest. In the honesty he carried, in the peace he used to lack, I felt something deep within me start to slowly settle back. Porch light blessing lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Porch light blessing glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Porch light blessing, I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the load I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. Strength returning in the glow of the porch light as the porch light flickered softly and the night grew warm and wide. I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside, for my neighbor's quiet wisdom and the light upon the door made the sorrow in my memory lose the weight it held before. I thanked him for his presence as he rose to end his day. And he said, son, God restores you in his gentle, faithful way. Then he walked back through the shadows with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Porch light blessing taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Porch light blessing echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Porch light blessing, porch light blessing.
I climbed up Cedar Ridge as the morning broke the sky, where the wind through ancient branches sang a song that made me sigh. I had carried hidden heartache from a heavy trying year, and the weight upon my shoulders made my hope feel faint and sheer. But the cedar scent around me held a calm I couldn't claim, and the sunlight through the treetops softly whispered out my name. So I rested near a boulder as the golden light grew wide, and I felt a gentle mercy settle warm upon my side. In that still and quiet moment where the broken hearts are found, I could feel a healing presence rise like roots beneath the ground. Morning at Cedar Ridge told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Morning at Cedar Ridge wrapped a kindness round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispered in my ear that day. An aging steady woodcutter walked up slowly through the pines, carrying a stack of stories from the hardest of his times. He leaned against the cedar stump with a breath both rough and true, saying, son, this ridge has held me when I didn't know what to do. He spoke of losing loved ones, of the storms that shaped his soul, how he prayed beside
beside these ridges till the Lord restored him whole. And the truth within his telling fell like sunlight on my chest, showing God can carve a pathway where the lost return to rest. In the courage he remembered and the faith he chose to share, I felt something deep within me rise like cedar scented air. Morning at Cedar Ridge lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of hidden sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Morning at Cedar Ridge glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, I will trust his love like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the load I bear, every whispered prayer finds his presence there. I will stand right here. Morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge. I will stand right here, I will breathe again. Every whispered prayer finds his presence there. With returning at the ridge as the sunlight spread along it, and the ridge grew warm and wide, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside. For the woodcutter's compassion and the cedar scented grace made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its place. I thanked him for his wisdom as he turned to start his day, and he said, son, God restores you in his own unhurried way. Then he wandered down the ridgeline with a slow, unbroken stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Morning at Cedar Ridge taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of worn-out heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge, morning at Cedar Ridge. Finding a place to breathe along an old fence, I wandered toward the fence line as the sunrise kissed the ground, where the quiet morning farmland held a peace I hadn't found. I had carried silent heartache from a season bruised and worn, and the weight inside my spirit felt too heavy to be borne. But the sparrows on the wire sang a song both soft and true, and the breeze that shook the grass blades felt like mercy passing through. So I leaned against the fence rail as the day began to climb, and I felt a gentle healing settle deep within my mind. In that still forgiving moment where the weary souls unwind, I could feel a tender kindness pulling sorrow from my mind. Rest along the fence line told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Rest along the fence line wrapped a calm around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear that day. The ranch hand on the morning walk, a withered, humble ranch hand, walked up slowly through the gate, carrying a quiet wisdom born of loss and learning late. He paused beside the fence post with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this rail has held me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing steady work, of the nights he cried alone, how he met the Lord in stillness till the fear inside had flown. And the truth inside his stories felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can lift your burdens where the tired come to rest. In the courage he remembered, in the tears he dared to show, I felt something deep within me start to ease and start to grow. Rest along the fence line lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of hidden sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Rest along the fence line glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me." To me, rest along the fence line.
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 I will stay right here. I will breathe again. I will trust His heart like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear. Every whispered prayer meets His presence there.
I will stay right here.
I will breathe again.
Every whispered prayer
meets His presence there. As the sunlight warmed the fence rail and the morning sky turned white, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a steadier peace inside. For the ranch hand's earnest sharing and the fence line's quiet grace, may the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its place. I thanked him for his kindness as he turned to start his day. And he said, son, God restores you in his careful, gentle way. Then he walked into the pasture with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Rest along the fence line taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denies again. Rest along the fence line echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Rest along the fence line.
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 A weary walk along the riverbed, I wandered down the riverbed as the daylight turned to gold, where the soft breeze brushed the water like a story gently told. I had carried silent heartache from a season worn and long, and the weakness in my spirit made me feel I wasn't strong. But the shimmer on the surface held a peace I didn't see, and the rustle of the cattails drew a quiet prayer from me. So I settled near a fallen tree as the river curled below, and I felt a tender mercy move within the evening glow. In that still forgiving moment where the weary hearts unfold, I could feel a healing presence rising soft and rising bold. Riverbend evening told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way. Riverbend evening wrapped a quiet round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gather near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Peace was whispering in my ear that day. The fisherman at dusk, a weathered, gentle fisherman, walked up slowly from the shore, carrying a string of memories from the storms he'd faced before. He settled by the riverbend with a sigh both rough and true, saying, son, this place has held me when I didn't know what to do. He spoke of losing everything, dreams and people he held dear, how he prayed beside this water till the Lord drew near his fear. And the truth within his stories fell like ripples on my chest,
showing God can calm the waters where the troubled come to rest. In the strength that He remembered, in the tears He let unwind, I felt something deep inside me shift its weight and free my mind. Riverbend evening lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed. Riverbend evening glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me.
Riverbend evening, riverbend evening,
I will stay right here,
I will breathe again,
I will trust His love.
like a faithful friend,
Every trembling doubt,
knows the weight I bear,
every whispered prayer,
meets His presence there.
I will stay right here.
I will breathe again,
Every whispered cry meets His presence there. I thanked Him for His presence as He rose to end His day. And He said, son, God restores you in His steady, faithful way. Then He wandered down the shoreline with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Riverbend evening taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope was fading under unforgiving skies, grace restored what fear denied. Riverbend evening echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness in a gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing me near to me.
riverbend evening, riverbend evening. Riverbend evening, riverbend evening.
Arriving at the riverbend at dawn, I wandered to the riverbend as the morning found its light, where the water stirred so softly it could calm a restless night. I had carried quiet sorrow from a season worn with strain, and the ache inside my spirit felt too tangled to explain. But the ripples on the surface held a tenderness and grace, and the breeze along the shoreline felt like healing on my face. So I settled by the willows as the daylight reached the land, and I felt a gentle mercy moving through my trembling hands.
In that quiet, sacred moment where the weary hearts descend, I could feel a gentle comfort flowing warm around the bend.
Riverbend morning told my weary soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step along the way. When my hope was fading and my strength had slipped astray, grace was lighting up my day again. Riverbend morning wrapped a calm around my fear, telling me the Lord was closer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day.
The quiet, weathered river keeper walked up slowly from the reeds, carrying a net of stories and a heart that knew of needs. He rested by the water with a sigh both worn and deep, saying, "Son, this band has saved me when I couldn't even sleep."
He spoke of losing purpose, of the storms that shaped his years, how he learned to pray in silence till the Lord restored his fears. And the truth within his wisdom felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can shape our footsteps in the rivers we have rest. In the courage He remembered, in the stillness He revealed, I felt something deep within me start to loosen, start to heal. Riverbend morning lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sadness to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Riverbend morning glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was with me in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, "Rest in me," to me. Riverbend morning, riverbend morning, I will trust this flow,
I will breathe again,
I will lean on Him.
like a faithful friend,
Every trembling doubt,
knows the load I bear.
every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will trust this flow, I will breathe again. Every whispered prayer meets His presence there.
Strength found at the water's edge as the morning grew in brightness and the river shimmered wide. I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler place inside, for the keeper's quiet wisdom and the riverbend's embrace made the sorrow in my memory loosen slowly from its place. I thanked Him for His kindness as He rose toward the reeds, and He said, "Son, God restores you, He will meet your deepest needs." Then He walked into the sunlight with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside.
Riverbend morning taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken broken heartache I had carried in disguise when my hope was fading under unforgiving skies. Grace restored what fear denies again. Riverbend morning echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing near to me. Riverbend morning, riverbend morning,
Riverbend morning.
Walking old farm road at sunrise, I wandered down the farm road as the morning found its way where the gravel held a quiet I had carried hidden heartache from a season bruised and long, and the silence in my footsteps felt too heavy to stay strong. But the sunrise through the tree line held a peace I couldn't claim, and the breeze along the fences softly whispered out my name. So I stood beside a gatepost as the shadows slipped behind, and I felt a gentle comfort settle warm upon my mind. In that still and tender moment where the weary hearts unfold, I could feel a healing mercy pull the darkness from its hold. Stillness on the farm road told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Stillness on the farm road wrapped a quiet round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispered in my ear that day. The farmer by the roadside, a gentle aging farmer, came up slowly through the field, carrying the years upon him. He rested by the fence line with a sigh both rough and true, saying, "Son, this road has saved me when I didn't know what to do." He spoke of losing family, of the droughts and storms he'd faced, how he met the Lord in silence as he stood on this same place. And the truth within his stories fell like sunlight on my chest, showing God can lift your spirit where the broken come to rest. In the honesty he offered, in the peace he learned to bear, I felt something deep within me rising to that farm road air. Stillness on the farm road lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Stillness on the farm road glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith fell fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Stillness on the farm road, stillness on the farm road. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His strength like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. As the daylight warmed the gravel and the fences gleamed with grace, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler resting place. For the farmer's quiet wisdom and the stillness round my feet made the sorrow in my memory lose its power, lose its seed. I thanked Him for His kindness as He turned to greet the day. And He said, son, God restores you in His gentle, faithful way. Then He walked into the pasture with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Stillness on the farm road taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my walking Old Farm Road at sunrise, I wandered down the farm road as the morning found its way where the gravel held a quiet I had carried hidden heartache from a season bruised and long, and the silence in my footsteps felt too heavy to stay strong. But the sunrise through the tree line held a peace I couldn't claim, and the breeze along the fences softly whispered out my name. So I stood beside a gatepost as the shadows slipped behind, and I felt a gentle comfort settle warm upon my mind. In that still and tender moment where the weary hearts unfold, I could feel a healing mercy pull the darkness from its hold. Stillness on the farm road told my trembling soul to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my faith had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Stillness on the farm road wrapped a quiet round my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that gathered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear that day. The farmer by the roadside, a gentle aging farmer, came up slowly through the field carrying the years upon him. He rested by the fence line with a sigh both rough and true, saying, son, this road has saved me when I didn't know what to do. He spoke of losing family, of the droughts and storms he'd faced, how he met the Lord in silence as he stood on this same place. And the truth within his stories fell like sunlight on my chest, showing God can lift your spirit where the broken come to rest. In the honesty he offered, in the peace he'd learned to bear, I felt something deep within me rising to that farm road air. Stillness on the farm road lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Stillness on the farm road, glow with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Stillness on the farm road, stillness on the farm road. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, I will trust his strength like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. I will stand right here, I will breathe again, every whispered prayer meets his presence there. As the daylight warmed the gravel and the fences gleamed with grace, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a gentler resting place. For the farmer's quiet wisdom and the stillness round my feet made the sorrow in my memory lose its power, lose its seed. I thanked him for his kindness as he turned to greet the day, and he said, son, God restores you in his gentle, faithful way. Then he walked into the pasture with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Stillness on the farm road taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache I had carried in disguise. When my hope walking into a field full of plover, I wandered through a meadow where the clover brushed my knees, where the early morning sunlight moved. I had carried heavy heartache from a long and weary year, and the weight inside my spirit made my road feel unclear. But the fragrance in the blossoms rose like comfort, soft and sweet, and the wind that stirred the tree line felt like hope beneath my feet. So I settled near a weathered stump as the day grew bright and healed, a tender mercy move across that clover field. In that quiet, gentle moment where the broken hearts release, I could feel a healing presence, stirring calm and stirring peace. Went through Cloverfield, told my trembling heart to stay, showing me the Lord was guiding every step I lost today. When my hope felt fragile and my strength had slipped away, grace was lighting up my way again. Went through Cloverfield, wrapped a quiet around my fear, telling me the Lord was nearer than the doubts that lingered near. When I felt forgotten, He was standing here. Love was whispering in my ear. That day, the woman who gathered morning herbs, a gentle aging woman, walked up slowly through the green, carrying a woven basket full of herbs she'd always gleaned. She settled on a fallen log, with a breath both rough and true, saying, "Son, this field has held me when I didn't know what to do." She spoke of losing children, of long nights she wept alone, how she knelt among the clover till the Lord restored her bone. And the truth within her stories felt like sunlight on my chest, showing God can heal the broken in the places built for rest. In the wisdom she had carried, in the grief she overcame, I felt something deep within me soften gently, lose its shame. Went through Cloverfield, lifted shadows from my chest, turning years of quiet sorrow to a moment I could rest. When my tears were falling faster than the rest, grace stepped in with something blessed again. Went through Cloverfield, glowed with mercy in the breeze, telling me the Lord was present in the rustling of the trees. When my faith felt fragile and my courage bent its knees, love was whispering, rest in me, to me. Went through Cloverfield, went through Cloverfield. I will stay right here, I will breathe again, I will trust His heart like a faithful friend. Every trembling doubt knows the weight I bear, every whispered prayer meets His presence there. I will stay right here, I will stay right here, I will breathe again. Every whispered prayer meets His presence there. As the sunlight filled the meadow and the breeze danced soft and wide, I could feel my weary heartbeat find a softer place inside. For the woman's gentle wisdom and the blossoms at my feet made the sorrow in my memory slowly loosen from its seat. I thanked her for her kindness as she rose to greet the day. And she said, "Son, God restores you in His tender, faithful way." Then she walked between the clover with a slow, unhurried stride, leaving courage in my spirit like a lantern deep inside. Went through Cloverfield, taught my weary soul to rise, letting go of broken heartache, I had carried in disguise when my hope was fading under unforgiving skies. Grace restored what fear denies again. Went through Cloverfield, echoes through my later years, turning all my quiet sadness into gentler healing tears. What I thought was ending brought me somewhere near. Love was always drawing me to me. Went through Cloverfield, went through Cloverfield.